As a person who is team play with all the crayons in the box, there is a lot that is happening at any given time in my sphere. Here's a quick look at how I keep it all together because it doesn't do it by itself. So the day begins with something simple but enjoyable to drink. It could be a cappuccino, could be a macchiato, could be a smoothie, could be a glass of chocolate milk, but I'm starting with something. Oh, and of course there is water. But I'm starting with something after we have had our workout and the heart has been taken care of. Now, so we get up early. Typically, we're talking 5:30, and we are back in the house by maybe 8 o'clock, maybe by 8 o'clock, and we get started. Now, my Linktree bio says career and life coach, photog, podcaster, TV host, geez, doing the most, and making it look easy. So yes, the Virgo vibes are vibing. It is what most Virgos do. Now keep in mind, when you know who you are, you understand what works well for you, then things come across like it's no big deal. So history-wise, as a former quality assurance and training manager, i.e. hiring, writing training, leading a sales team, and working in the future all the time, like a year, sometimes a year plus in advance. I understand how to keep a really tight schedule. I do. But I also understand this. With this being personal projects that I consciously choose to do, those priority dates, those deadlines, they're all self-made. Okay? Now, the only deadlines that are actually real are the portrait sessions, because someone has paid for a portrait session, gotta show up for that. Or if I create a class and people have paid for that class or registered for that class will happen. And Lord knows, I was a slacker when I was at FIT as an adjunct professor. I admit it, I'm really good. Like, I'm a scholar, but I'm the slacker scholar. And even as a professor, I was thinking to myself, do I have to go to class? Like, do we have to have class today? So, what can I tell you? So those things are definite. But even with that, if something comes up, I'm going to give people enough time to reschedule, because what we're not going to do is burn both ends of the candle. We gave that up some time ago. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember when I even did it. Maybe when I was younger, like in your 20s, trying to rule the world. Yeah, we haven't done that in a very long time. So let's talk about all the projects really quick, right? Because as I said, we have a lot going on. We've got the coaching, we've got the photography, and we also have all of the creation in terms of independent TV shows. So 2 of those on Indie Soup Media. And then there is 3 podcasts, 3 video podcasts. Yeah, I know. But sometimes, for a person who is team, share all your gifts that the good Lord gave you. You just do what you have to do. So I don't think anything of it. Like, this is part of the purpose. Like, this is it. Can you imagine if I didn't do all the things that the good Lord blessed me to do? What would the world be like? It'd probably be an awful boring world. So we're not going to even go down that pathway. Let me not go down there. Let's talk about how we get all this done. Because as I mentioned, I recognize that the deadlines I have are self-imposed. So at any point when things aren't going well, we move back the deadline. Do I get overwhelmed? Yes and no. Because at the same time that I want to do 5,000 other things on one day, I recognize I can always push it back I don't have to put out this video on a Tuesday. It can come out next Tuesday. I can put it out on a Wednesday. I don't have to write this blog for my Medium site and get it all, and have it ready on the 1st. It can come out on the 7th. We have to remember when we are working in this creative space, if these are not projects that have a monetary something assigned to it, as in someone's paid for your time, I go back to use your time wisely. Push that stuff back. It's not going anywhere. The world will keep turning if you don't get it done. That's fine. So, when I work on the magazine, let's just use this as an example. When I work on the magazine, the TV shows for Indie Suit Media, or just my own writing, that is done months in advance. So we have already figured out what we want to talk about as a topic. We only do it 4 times a year. So truly you can write down all the things you really want, because a lot of the stuff is going to be cyclical. It's just going to do it over and over again. But add to that, when you're doing a magazine, you also have to create the art. And yes, I have to schedule some photo sessions to get the cover art and to get other images for the articles in the magazine. It's work. Let's talk about the independent TV shows. One would think we're just grabbing some stuff out of the air. That is not how that works. I like to see what I'm working with. Now, if I'm out and about, I'm jotting down those ideas on my phone. So in this case, I was on the cruise, wrote all the ideas down, came back and said, great, I need to see it on paper, because I need to have an overall message or theme for the season. And then the 8 or so episodes are going to support that message. That's how that works. We're not just getting up and saying, yeah, let me create a quick episode here and dilly-dally and just throw anything on the wall and see if it sticks. There is a lot of planning that goes into this. Deciding what B-roll I need to capture to support a particular video or a particular episode, that comes with the planning process. Now, I do like to write things down. This is what I use to keep myself aware on a big screen. So yeah, I put it on the wall so I can see what's happening. But I also use a program like Notion. I use my Samsung Notes to keep me organized. And yes, I sometimes use my voice notes, because I'll be someplace running and gunning and an idea pops in my head and I don't want to lose that idea. So I'll grab the phone and do a quick voice note to make sure that I can lock it in and then refer to it once I get settled and I come back. But there's a planning process. And once we get it all written down, we then decide what needs to happen when and by what timelines. Even though I can move the deadline whenever I feel like it, I still need a deadline. And for those of you who use like 2 or 3 alarms, it's that same kind of thing. There is a first deadline that I'm working with, and if I don't make that one, then I have the next deadline. And clearly, there is the ultimate deadline, because we don't turn things in the day it's due. That is not an option. That is not an option. Things need to be in my world, and this is something I stick to, at least 2 days before it's due. Do I typically get it before that? Of course I do. I mean, come on now. Come on. Of course I'm getting it before that. Okay. Now that I have that off my chest, what else is there to talk about? Well, we're not going to talk about equipment. Not going to do that. But I will say, some way or another, we get it all done. And when I say we, it is me, myself, and I. The technology I use supports my creative process. The software I use creates my supportive process. The projects I choose to work on are all within my wheelhouse. Have I ever said no to something? Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, I just keep adding things on. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, but I do. Now, full disclosure, I write everything on the calendar. So there is a place for working out. There is a place where we start work, we stop work. We have business hours, okay? But I also give myself 2 weekend days to do extra to get ahead. So if I feel like Gwendolyn is looking kind of funny, let's take this Saturday, let's take this Sunday and jump ahead, then I will do that. Otherwise, we're going to sit down and rest, because rest is an action, right? Doing nothing is doing something. We're not working every single day. No. We're going to go see our grandkids. We're going to hang out with the family. We're going to do a road trip, whatever it is. But we will, from time to time, because it's written, it's an option, right? We will work a weekend to get some things done. And we will also pull an all-nighter here and there to also get some things done. It's never on the back end, or I should say it's never like the very last minute. The stuff I used to do when I was in college, those 24-hour projects, they were damn good, but we don't need to do that anymore. Like, we don't need to do that. But I will pull an all-nighter sometimes. Otherwise, I'm going to get my 8 hours of sleep. And I'm going to wake up and do my workout and get heart healthy and do all the things that I'm supposed to do. That's what that is. But figured I should give a little behind the scenes, because people always, some people like, how are you doing it all? Sis, bruh, partner, man, it's a calendar. And I do have a couple of calendars, just a couple. There is the digital calendar in the phone. There is my Outlook calendar that keeps all the appointments and, they talk to each other. And then I like a paper calendar. There is something special and necessary and solid about writing things down. Like, once I write it down, it really sticks. Like, okay, this is it. Some things are written in pen. Some things are written in pencil. And pencil, we can erase and adjust. So the need for that. All right, let me stop all of the huss and fuss and get back to creating some things, because this is why we're here. Okay.